All right, here we go. We're going to do the multiple shot test. I promise this is the last heating thing, but we're going to look at multiple shots and the two different ways you can do them. We're going to do 4 shots here. I never really do that too often. If ever, I usually make 1 or 2 on a machine. That's why I have 2, but let's go ahead and go and see how we go here. So we've got the first one. Starting from scratch, we're not going to cut anything. We're just going to go ahead and go. All these, I'm using the same Porta Filter. It's heating up while it's in there. So each one will just have a fresh basket, but the Porta Filter is going to be the same one. It's going to be warmer and warmer each time. So let's go ahead and go. We know the first shots on the La Pavoni from the other videos come out cool. That's kind of the way we like it too, is because we do a lot of dark and medium dark. So it all depends on how you go. So let's go ahead and rip this one out and we will see once again. And remember, you can average your brew temp, even though some of these third wavers go a little over the edge, but you can average it in 35 or 40 degrees of your cup temp, and that'll give you a close approximation of your brew temp and to see if it's getting too hot. But you can tell if your coffee is really hot going in the cup, it's brewing hotter. It's just logical. So the first one, like almost always, some of the machines 140, but 144 seems to be the average for the first one. That's just after it hits number 2, and then you go down to 1. That's a shot pulled right after that. First thing. Let's go ahead and take the Porta Filter out. Yeah, don't rush. Let some of the steam and the pressure off so it doesn't blast everywhere. That's the only hard part here. So let's go ahead and take that one off and put in a fresh basket. This basket is, these are all the same there, so the baskets aren't warm, but the Porta Filter is warm, just in case there's any controversy over that. And there we go. Let's see what happens here. We'll get rid of, we were going to go through a little espresso, but that's all right. These aren't the super expensive beans. These are the store-bought beans we have been liking a lot more than the $30, $40 a pound beans. So you really got to just find the beans you like, and don't listen to much, because some of these expensive beans are really just a name, and they're all show no-go. Let's go ahead here. Let's see what we get here on the second one. This is all heated up. We haven't cooled the Porta Filter. We're just using one basket after another. If you had just one basket and had to clean it out, that would be maybe even hotter. But have a couple baskets. It makes life easier. Here we go. We're heading up. So our second one is almost perfect, like we see in the other videos, 160. That second coffee is extracts a little warmer. Maybe that's why the medium roast and lighter drinkers like that second one, because it extracts at a little hotter temperature. So let's go ahead and go here. We're not going to blow anything up. We're going to take this off and we'll do another one. Let's just see what the third. So let's say we have 4. You got your friends, there's 4 of you, couples, whatever combination. But here you go. Let's see what we get here. So we're going to do 4 coffees, 4 shots of espresso in a row. We're just going to see the differences in temp. So here we go. This one's off. So we got a 144 to 160, which is common, as we've seen through multiple shots here. So let's go ahead and do our third one here. This is a Porta Filter's hot. There you go, Stevie. You got it in there. All right, here we go. Let's see what this one comes out. Clean that out. And boom, here we go. Let's see what this one's going to do. It's interesting because I never actually use my La Pavoni this way. I might on rare occasions make 4 shots in a row on one machine, but truthfully I have 2 or 3. We like the first shots again because we like a medium dark roast. Here we go. What are we going to find out here? It's always exciting because I've never really done the temperature on this many in a row, one after another, without any additional time. So let's see what we get here. We're going to start this baby up. The much maligned apparatus that works so damn well, but anyway, it's the whole digital. The analog makes some people nervous, but we're just averaging for the home. We're not submitting this to the FDA or some government. You know what I mean? It's just the home fun. That and what these machines are for. But to me, it's 1 or 2 coffees. They're not necessarily made to work like a commercial machine at all. But here we go. That's why they're so much fun. Let's see what the third one's going to come out. So we made one a little cool. The second one's right on the money. And the third one's not bad, 164. So it is a little hotter. We're tending to go up, you know, 4 to 6 degrees. 6 degrees on the first one, 4 degrees hotter on this one. So that's Freddy the cat, if you can hear him yelling for attention. We're going to do a video on cat training in espresso. Okay, so we did that one, 160. 4, so that came out at the 160 to 165. It was right in the range, but it was 4 degrees warmer than the one beforehand. So here we go. We're going to do another one here. Let's see what we get here on our fourth one. The Porta Filter has not been cooled. It's pretty warm. It doesn't get as hot as the group head, but let's go ahead and see what we get here on our fourth one. If we're just firing 4 shots out, and let's see what we're going to get here on the fourth one. So we progressively got a little warmer on each one as we went. 144, 160, 164. So let's see if we're going to go up to like 168 or something. Let's see how much warmer this fourth one will be using the Porta Filter that has retained its heat. So we're doing another good heat test. You really have to do something like this to get your espresso to come out overly hot. And here we go, 170. That's pretty darn warm. That's probably over hot. So let's go ahead and go. Let's see what happens now. We're going to just use a room temperature cool Porta Filter, no ice or freezing. I have 4 different bottomless. 2 are the same ones from Cafe Lot. One of them is a brass one from the guy in LA, and one of them is with the rounded bottom, which I use sometimes, but you can't use the bigger basket because well, you can, but it makes it dribble a lot. So let's see what we got going here. First one, these Porta Filter baskets were all sitting out. Even when the machine heated up, they weren't in. So this is the first one with the rounded bottom. Let's head and go. I guess you could see what Porta Filters do different temperatures to, but we're not going to go that far. We're going to keep it straightforward here, so there's not too much Reverend getting too finicky. But let's go ahead and see what our first one comes out here. There we go. I like this old machine. I never really did a lot to it. It was not supposed to work, and it got kind of battered in shipping, but you know what, worked great. And I just had to straighten out that T, like often happens when they ship these. Here we go. 144. You can almost see that almost every time you get about a 144 espresso in your cup. So that's pretty good. It might be brewing a little cool, but that's the way it comes out. And we've seen that consistently time and again, even as much as 140. Yeah, a little boo. I'm kind of messing up here. There we go. It is stubborn. There we are. I don't know what it's doing, but it was a little bit offline. Let's go ahead and give it another try. Yeah, baby, there we go. Never give up. You can get that baby in there. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So we had 144 on our first one. That was consistent with the other one. By that one they heated up with the Porta Filter in. This one I just put it in. So we're getting about the same either way on that one. So you're going to get a cooler extraction on your first one, slightly cooler. And again, you'll have to do that all yourself. If you like a medium or a light or one of those lighter roasts, you may want to wait, because that may be too cool an extraction for you. But we like that first one better than the second one on average. But now that I'm cooling the Porta Filter before I make the second one, a few minutes later after we finish it, they're both coming out really good. So that was a good little change I made there. And yeah, look at the second one, a little bit cool, 148, so it didn't even hit 50. So now we see that by having the cool Porta Filter, our second espresso was, a good 12 degrees actually cooler than having a warm Porta Filter. So let's go ahead and do the third one. Let's see what goes on here. Oops, fumble, Stevie. Hang on now. We're getting a little wild here. We're doing a lot of pulls in a row. And let's see what the third one's going to give us. So we've had, up to a 12-degree difference by manipulating your portafilter temperature. So, you can go on, but you could discover for yourself, like I may do, is what little technique change do you want to make. But, really it's a straightforward, it's just running the La Pavoni like you usually do. There's no difference there, nothing like that. So let's see what we get here on the third one. Is it going to be any different than, we know the second was a lot cooler, so let's see what the third one is. And this is a room temperature portafilter. It hasn't been chilled in cold water or the refrigerator or anything like. This is just room temperature, so here we go. Got a nice flow. Let's see what she comes up to. As that chamber fills, it'll go right to the right temperature. I've done a ton of different experiments. We don't have to go through any of that, but let's go ahead and see for the multiple shot pullers that want to do it. It does have one machine, so we're going up on our third shot. Let's see. Doing pretty good. Quite a bit. The third one on the other one was 164, so let's see what here with the cooled portafilter. And this time we are 160. So we're 4 degrees on the third shot difference. First shot, exactly the same. Second shot, 12 degrees cooler with the cooled portafilter. Third shot, 4 degrees cooler with a just room temperature portafilter. So let's go ahead and pop this one off too. Just do it slow. If you have one machine, you got to take it off and let the pressure go. So there we go. Let's go on. Let's go ahead and do our fourth one here. So we're doing 4 pulls on the same machine 4 times without cooling or just using the same portafilter with the same heat it gets from each one. And here we go for the fourth one. This is a new portafilter room temperature. There we go. See, things fly. It's not always perfect. There we go. And here we go again. So we're going to see what are we going to get on this fourth one. 4 in a row, uncut. No question. Let's see what we got. I'm excited about this one. So we'll see what difference it is here. So we've had it, slowly go up in temperature as you keep pulling. So maybe towards these last ones, if you had one in a little bowl of cool water, that might make a difference. We're not going to go that far today. We're just comparing 4 shots with the same portafilter, never cooling it, and we're comparing 4 shots with 4 different portafilters, all room temperature. And we've seen there's been a dramatic temperature change with what goes in your cup here from rather having a room temperature or heated again. So here we go. This is pretty exciting. There it goes. I'm just going to be amazed at this temp. I'm not 100% at what it's going to be, what we're going to see, because I rarely do 4 in a row on one machine. Yeah. Pretty good. Maybe a tad bit hot, 166. So it was a full 4 degrees cooler than the fourth on the other one. Yeah, pretty interesting. There we go. So what we have is the room temp portafilter is 4 to 6 cooler in the cup, even up to 12 degrees on that one, but I'm going to stick with 4 to 6. That's it. Subscribe it up.